There are the odds to win the AFC West. The Chiefs the favorites at plus 170. Chargers not too far behind. Broncos at plus 300. If you're looking for value, folks, if you're in a jurisdiction where this kind of stuff is officially legal, or if you just happen to have a guy, if you're in one of the states where it's not legal yet and you know a guy who can take a little action, 6-1 for the Raiders. I kind of like that. That stands out to me. Not that I'm predicting them to win the division, but there just seems to be value in 6-1 odds there.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to predict the order of finish in the AFC West, and they have it set up to go from fourth to first. I think it's more interesting if we flip it. I think it's more interesting if we start first and work our way down, because I think it's going to get harder as we get to the bottom than it is for other divisions as you get to the top. Are you with me on that?
I'm sure. Whatever you think. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are picking the Chargers to go to the Super Bowl and all that too, so I don't know if it's necessarily any harder either way. I think it's a very good conversation, this division altogether.
Do you not have the Chiefs as your first place team?
I got the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl again. Just that's full transparency. I already laid that on my
they can get there without winning the division.
I'm taking them to go number one though. The Chiefs, to me, I don't think the offense is going to miss a beat. I'm picking them to go number one. They've retooled their team on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to be, I think, more athletic and just a more violent group on that side, a more talented group than they've been in a few years. And that's where I'm excited about the Chiefs. So the Chiefs are a team I look at that got better and didn't play their best football last year and still were in the AFC Championship game. I still think they're the kings of the AFC.
To the extent that we are focusing today, and we did earlier in the program, on actual or perceived slights, indignities, insults, the Chiefs they don't have to make anything up.
No, they don't.
The Chiefs are the ones that can look around and say, well, what the hell else do we have to do to be regarded as a serious threat to get to the Super Bowl and win it? We've been in the conference championship game 4 years in a row. We got to the Super Bowl twice. The other two times, we could have made it. We almost made it. And one was flip of the coin. The other was they screwed up. They played not to lose in the second half against the Bengals. So they continue to be a great team, and I'm with you. I think they win the division. We haven't done our official picks yet at PFT. I got another day to change my mind 50 times before I take my hand off the checker, but I view them as a serious threat to get to the Super Bowl and win it this year. I definitely think they win the division.
Yeah, I'm with you there. There's too many positives. It's arguably the best player in the game. You know me, and Mahomes and Allen to me are in a little bit of a different class. Offensive line to me is best pass protecting conversation in football when it comes to that. Weapons are still very good across the board. Some no-name guys that I think are going to jump out and surprise some people. Good running backs. Secondary's better and more talented. Justin Reed's an upgrade for Tyrann Mathieu. Frank Clark had a down year last year. I don't expect that to happen. They got some other rookies that are studs. Mahomes looks great. I'm with you, Mike. To me, people are sleeping on the Chiefs. I look at them and just go, wow, what's not to like? I know there's no Tyreek. That's the only thing. And they still got a lot of damn good players playing receiver.
Is it because we just have this desire for some new flavor of ice cream? I don't understand. I don't. And then again, the Chiefs have to be very happy about it. Number one, you don't get a big head. Number two, you put a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah,
it's perfect
sure.
for Andy Reid that this is what's going on. All right, who do you have in second place?
I'm going to go Chargers here. I'm going to go Chargers. I am. There's some things I question. I'm a little scared of Brandon Staley and some of the game management stuff. There's no doubt to me. There's a few games last year where, again, I know that they won because they were aggressive, but I certainly can go back to a few and go, no, they lost because they were aggressive too. They wouldn't have been in some of the situations they were late in the game, and I go, well, they would have had 3 or 6 more points or 9 more points and still would have won. But I think all in all, I like their offensive system. I like Brandon Staley and what he does on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's got the right players to play his defensive system now. And, yeah, I think they're a team that I look at to be in the playoffs and dangerous, and I'm picking them to be number 2. Yes, no doubt about it.
I am not.
This is where you're going Raiders, huh?
And for as much as I'm accused of hating the Raiders, sorry, people who think I hate the Raiders. I've got the Raiders ahead of the Chargers, and I want to focus on the Chargers. The Chargers, to me, and this is not a timely reference by any stretch of the imagination. It goes back to the early days of Saturday Night Live. There was a character played by Gilda Radner called Roseanne and one of her catchphrases was, "It's always something." And with the Chargers, to me, it's always something. There's always something. A key injury at a bad time, a bad decision, a bounce of the ball, a this, that. There's always something that is holding them back. And you and I both love Brandon Staley. And he may be an excellent head coach in his second stop, but he's going to aggressive his way out of a job with the Chargers.
Sure.
Because, look, I said this to Peter King on Friday, and I don't know if he just wasn't listening to me or if he disagrees. Maybe he was being polite. I am a firm believer. And, look, I'm not looking to alienate the analytics crowd this early on a Tuesday morning or any morning for that matter. But some of these razor-thin margins that they use to decide the right thing to do. Well, you got a 46% chance of winning if you go for it, but you only have a 44% chance of winning if you punt. Who the hell cares about 2% in a situation like that? It informs your decision. It doesn't make your decision. And once you have decided that I'm always going to embrace, go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it, you become predictable as a team. You become predictable as a coach. The best way to be is unpredictable. You want to be willing to go for it. You want to be willing to not go for it. You want to have that guy over there on the other sideline with a headset on wondering, I wonder what the hell this guy's going to do, because I really don't know. We got to be ready for anything. That's the sweet spot. That's the Belichick. With Belichick, you never quite know what he's going to do. There's an element of mystery that keeps the other coach on his heels. There's no mystery with Brandon Staley. You're ready for it. You're preparing for it. We got to have extra fourth and short plays. We got to have extra goal line plays. We got to have extra two-point conversion defense ready because we know what he's going to do. We know what he's going to do. That doesn't help him. And I feel like I'm talking to a wall when I say that, and I'm going to keep talking to that wall because eventually I'm going to be proven right. That wall's going to fall down.
Yeah, well, I hope it doesn't continue that way. I mean, I think what you're talking about is being tactically aggressive, and that's not what they are. They are consistently aggressive, which is...
They're recklessly
aggressive. That's the way to say it.
Stubbornly aggressive.
Yeah, and then I know that, hey, we're going to play aggressive, and, hey, it's, we got this quarterback, and that's all great too. But I would hope, like, things change from the adjustments you made this offseason with your defense to where you have more confidence in your defense this year. I know last year they weren't very good, so hopefully that changes things. Because the way they played last year did not give their defense, like, confidence. They go, well, it's another situation, and, man, we don't trust the defense. Who cares if it's 4th and 8 in the middle of the field? We're going for it. Because our defense will probably let them go down the field and score anyway, so we might as well try to score right here. And I don't find that to be a recipe for success, let alone to be, recklessly aggressive. And this is where I think you get in the New England thing where, tactical as far as reading that game out itself. Reading that game out would be huge. I go back to that Chiefs game at the end of the year in Los Angeles and go, wait, we're going to go for it on 4th down. I don't know how many times it was. 7 times in that game, maybe 8, 7, 6, something like that. They only made it 1 time, I believe. And in that time, what was it, Mike? The Chiefs were the hottest defense in football, right? For like 6 weeks in a row. There was nobody better. You couldn't score on them. They were creating turnovers, and that's how they played. And yet, they held the Chiefs to some field goals and some issues like that to where their defense hung in there that night. But because they didn't take their points, they ended up losing the game. And it affected the way they had to coach the game at the end because they were behind by a margin that they shouldn't have been behind by. So that's where, I don't necessarily agree with their overall consistent aggressiveness either.
I know life is a lot easier when you don't have to make big decisions. You've already pre-made the decision. I remember there was a story not that long ago, within the past 5-10 years, about a coach. I think it was a high school team. They always did an onside kick. Always. They always went for it on 4th down and always did an onside kick. Always, right? No, that doesn't work. You have to be ready to make a tough decision. You have to be ready to make a decision. You can't make all the decisions ahead of time. It makes it harder to win games, and hopefully the Chargers will figure that out. So I've got the Chargers third behind the Raiders.
Yeah.
Who do you have third behind the Chargers?
I'm going Raiders there. I am. I'm going the Raiders. The Raiders. Hey, I think coaching both sides of the ball is going to be, different, better. I think the offense will be better. I think the defense will be creatively different and better as well. Mike, you know what my thoughts are with them a little bit. I just worry about, do they have the right pieces and place to play some of their defensive schemes they want to play? Do they have enough defensive tackles to two-gap and do the things that Patrick Graham wants? Their O-line is certainly questionable. I think they're going to put up a lot of stats throwing the ball. I think they're going to be a pain in the butt. I'm picking them third for sure. I think more of the story is the fact of the Broncos fourth, and I feel very good about that, actually, if you want to get into that.
Somebody's got to be fourth in the toughest division in football, Broncos fans. I'm sorry. It pains me to do it. I'm excited by where this team is heading, but look at the changes that have accumulated in this organization in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
New general manager.
Right.
New head coach.
Right.
New quarterback. New owner. New everything. Everything. So how do you expect to compete when you are dropped in with the likes of the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Chargers, given where they currently are? I know they've got big aspirations, and that's Russell Wilson's mantra. If he was looking for a place where the deck is stacked for him, maybe it's going to be stacked in a few years. It sure as hell isn't stacked now, Chris.
No, it's like we see potential, but there's too many ifs and whats and candies and buts like you're talking about. This isn't the same as like Stafford to the Rams or Brady to the Bucks, where we go, wait, everything's in place. These teams are awesome. These coaches have been here and laid down a foundation of way like, hey, this could be kind of good here. We just need the quarterback. This is, like you said, it's a whole, it's everything. They've redecorated the house completely. Then I think you add that on to, okay, Russell Wilson's learning a new system. Nathaniel Hackett's a first-time head coach. The offensive line's middle of the road. The receivers, yes, there's potential. But Cortland Sutton, is he going to return to the guy before the ACL? KG Hamler, he hasn't done anything yet. Jerry Jeudy, we see little glimpses, and then he got hurt last year. The defense, what's sort of right home about in the front seven? Secondary's good. I like that. Justin Simmons, Patrick Surtain, ballers, no doubt. But I just look at it and go, I think all the new pieces, like you're talking about, all the moving parts, and then just, to me, a roster that, is definitely not as talented as the Chiefs and the Chargers. Maybe can rival the Raiders, but I just feel better about the Raiders being a little battle-tested and a team that's been together for a little while. So I'm with you, Mike. I'm going Broncos fourth all the way here, too.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.